Let's also get switch.
As
Alright, and that's live properly too. Third plant is the one with some spice. Alright. Get this to stop looping. So the plan today is to do not a super long stream, as I've just been raiding for a couple of hours. First, you are first this time. My wife is working on a paper because she does academia, and is not super available at the moment. As she grumbles in the background. Let me check which of the ice trainers we need to do first. For the sake of the notes, we did Kai yesterday, so we're gonna do Claude and Lucas today is the plan. Lucas is gonna be the last one we do, and he's gonna have a little bit of some spicy tech is the plan. But we are gonna start with Fantina. So the plan has always been to sort of delay Fantina until I figured until I got a good Sucker Punch Mon. I figured that it'd end up being Mega Mawile, because we already have access to the Mawile. Or, if I needed one of these items, and we can't get the Mega Ring till after Flannery anyway, probably don't need the leftovers, but it turns out that the lines that I wanted to use for the first gentleman, which I think was Claude? Forgotten already. Yeah, Claude. Really would like my Wordier to have access to Psychic rather than Zen Headbutt, because all of the moves that Wordier learns are physical, except for TMs. It gets all of its special moves from TMs, because Stantler is physical. So we're going to start today by going back, beating up Fantina, and stealing her Psychic TM. Hello to all of you. Thank you for joining. The sort of last minute, a little bit late. I wasn't expecting to necessarily do a stream today, but we got a couple of fights, and I'd like to get through these before I forget about them, because I spent most of today planning them, and forgetting the details would suck. But like I say, we are going to start with Fantina. Did the raid go well? It went really well. We made some excellent progress on a boss we've been stuck on for a while. Not sure if tomorrow has a kill in it, but if not, next week probably does, and that's really exciting. It's Cinderace, Drapion. This Dugong is fine. So, spoiler alert for Fantina. I'm probably, unless I'm like horribly fucking something up, this should be bulletproof. I only need these two mons. So everything else is just kind of like, what if something goes horribly wrong? What are decent mons to have? I should maybe bring my normal type. You know, you never know. Hopefully it never sees the field, and I think that the anti-crit mon is also a pretty good choice. Go with that. So we got Cinderace at the end of yesterday. Cinderace is gonna annihilate Fantina, is the plan. Really disgusting abuse of Libero, which is I'm pretty excited about. Cinderace could do the entire fight, but doing it with that approach required either not a wide lens and thus relying more on rolls, or it required rolls and not getting crit a couple of times. So instead of having Cinderace sweep the whole thing, we're being really safe about it. Cinderace will be able to take every crit that it needs to, but it does not get the 5th KO. So that's Adamant Wide Lens. Drapion here is Adamant. Great, and he wants to be Adamant Citrus. I should not have sorted. The citrus was right beneath my cursor. For those of you who saw me talking about a spicy Arctivish line earlier today. That is going to be boss number 3, like I mentioned. That's probably the most interesting thing that'll happen here, I think. Adamant Wide Lens, Adamant Citrus. This just needs its usual set, I think. Poison Fang, X's, and A/knockoff. Yep. Double kick much. This needs to be changed pretty dramatically. And then I have my note just says standard Dugong. Maybe I should put Ice Beam on it instead of HP Fire. I'm pretty sure standard Dugong is just a backup that can absorb special attacks if something goes wrong. But that's fine. We can bring standard Dugong. Yeah, we're kind of riding just a little bit of an adrenaline high from how well their raid ended up going, which is the other motivating factor for going and doing this now. Let's give Citrus to Heck, there we go. Better than 0 item. I guess we'll give it, you know, the classic default Nuzlocke of, this doesn't really have an explicit purpose, we'll just give it a Citrus. Holy crap, my bag navigation skills leave something to be desired tonight, don't they? Goodness. Citrus, Chesto, Black Belt, Citrus, White Lens. Okay, so these are all legal. The Cinderace learn or required moves here are really, really specific. As you might expect with a Proteanmon. So we got Pyro Ball, Sucker Punch. We need Hidden Power Steel and U-Turn. Guitar, nice to see you. Been a long while. You've tuned in for 2 fights that shouldn't be that spicy, but should be pretty fast, and one that will be a little spicier. Nice to see you around. It's been a bit. Are you waiting for 1.3 to resume your runs as well? Or just been busy? Or maybe my time zone for streaming is just bad for you. That's also super understandable. So we do not actually need double kick for this fight. Extremely. Oh, no worries. No worries. Definitely no need to apologize. I have no expectations at all. But it's nice to be able to see you around from time to time. Let's go grab HP Steel. I am waiting for 1.3 to go again. I want to be the first winner on 1-2 patch. Oh, yeah. We did not get the easy mode Infernape. We got the easy mode Cinderace. It'd be fun to see you and Cap race for the 1.3 clear. Oh, give me one sec. There's an ant on my wall I gotta squish. We got him, and all it cost me was knocking over a Kleenex box. Did I freak the cat out? I should get over it. Okay, she does not look super stressed, does she? We lose 1 special defense IV. Definitely putting my money on Guitar. I know nothing about how either of you tend to Nuzlocke, but I'm excited to watch it. It'd be cool to have even like dueling streams, like one open in each monitor, almost like watching a speedrun. That'd be cool. Adamant, Wide Lens. Oh, we're still Blaze. That would have been catastrophic. That's why we check. It just shows up anytime 1.3 mentions. I'm not contributing, or I'm not helping with the 1.3 business. There's some shit that I should really help get debugged and fixed, but I've been too busy playing. Adamant, Wide Lens, Libero, HP Steel, U-Turn, Pyro Ball, Sucker Punch. And our Drapion is just some moves. Adamant, Citrus, Battle Armor, Poison Fang, X's, or Night/knockoff. I'll go buy Fantina and then do the full team scroll, but hopefully those are the only 2 components that are relevant. Yeah, you and me both. It's been really cool that like most evenings when I'm done work or like not work, depending on what I'm doing for a particular day, There's just somebody that I can like hop on and watch, and everybody's at like slightly different points, which is also kind of exciting. And I think as like I don't want to jinx anybody who's close to wrapping up, but if people's runs end up ending in the nearest future, that when 1.3 comes out, we'll get you and Cap and some others restarting new ones, which is it should keep it going, which is really cool. Congrats on Glacia, that fight's a bitch. Wide lens, adamant, libero, the correct moves. Also the correct moves, battle armor, adamant, citrus. Alright, the rest of these I don't really care about, but we're going to make sure they're all legal. I think everything has a berry except for Jalapeno here, who is my only black belt user. And we're back at the start. I noticed that Wordier has Intimidate, so we're going to make one change and make it Fur Coat, which it needs for the next fight. So this is lowering my chances of forgetting. Ghost Boy, nice to see you. I saw your Watson, like, the aftermath afterwards. Again, sorry I couldn't watch anything earlier. It was raiding, but good for you for getting through it with the sort of the scrub squad there. That was impressive. Thank you for the follow. Enjoy this feel. Let me just import my save, and then I will go talk to her. Super nice when you only need to use 2 mons in a fight, and your preps are really quick. For, like, the in-game preps, I mean. It took me a little while to discover that I could do this at all when I was trying to plan the fight this afternoon. But really nice to prep it in-game. It starts with a Miss Magius. Cinderace? HP Steel, Steel type. Awesome. Alright, we'll keep the calc open as we usually do. Go back to my stream so I can see you. Thank you. Yeah. Alright. Time to focus up just a little bit, because this should be a very... We should obliterate Fantina here, but our button clicks need to be very specific. Really enjoyed watching classic experience Nuzlocke players play the newest releases. There's something charming about a community forming collectively telling the owners, please wipe at every fight, by the way, please wipe. Nice to be included. This has been a very fun thing to start, that's for sure. So we open this fight maybe this is counterintuitive, maybe it's not. We're gonna get power gemmed here. We can tank any crit anyways, even as a fire type. However, we need to be able to tank any crit brick break a little bit later as a fire type, which does a max of just under 72. So the way that we dodge, the way that we let ourselves be able to take both of these crits is by making ourselves a steel type on turn 1. So the power gem can only do 24, and then killing with Pyro Ball. We're not going to be sucker punching the Miss Magius at all. That is a laundry list and a half, Guitar. And so after the hidden power, we just go for the Pyro Ball to pick up the KO. Cursola comes in. This is maybe the easiest of all of the mons. We just one-shot it with Sucker Punch. So this Gallade, we're sitting at 117. We can double-check our work here. The Gallade critting a Brick Break when I am Fire type maxes out at 124. Oh, that's not good. Let's have that not happen. That might be good. Fireball, yeah. Oh, I guess actually that can happen even because I didn't get crit the first time. And then here we just Sucker Punch to finish this as well. Some deeply strong opinions. That's fine. A Melmetal is strictly worse than Mega Mawile. We'll see. So this could be a Bannet or it could be a Zoroark, except it's just a Zoroark because Fantina has the Ace Trainer flag, so her Bannet has to come out last. And then we get to go Drapion. And Drapion can't be crit, and 2 shots and outspeeds. It's cool as fuck. Exactly! I'm glad someone understands. And that'll do it for Fantina. Hard carry on the Cinderace. This was kind of an eye-opening moment. I'm glad that I had this happen shortly after getting it. That checking your Protean Mons to see if they can just annihilate trainers is worthwhile. And there's the Psychic that we need for the next fight. We'll get a pile of other stuff that we need less for the next fight, but, you know, Brick Break is pretty universally useful, which is nice as Shadow Ball. This does not compete with the list from Steven, but it is a significant list. Alright. So to this quick detour, we go back to Fall Arbor. Don't use Proteans anymore. My respect drops exponentially every use. We'll see. We'll see. I think they're pretty cool. Having never done one before, I thought it was neat. Let me put Fantina's notes in my notes folder. If people can hatch Infernape eggs, I feel like I'm entitled to my Libero lines. Okay, this fight has a more substantial list of preps. We need Wordeer. It's cool also that Wordeer is going to see use pretty much immediately after picking it up. Wordeer, Golem, Alola, Lantern, Golisopod, Meganium, what am I missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wordeer, Golem, Lantern, Golisopod, Meganium. Oh, this flex slot. So this 6th slot, this is going to look kind of funny. It's going to be this level 24 Sizzlipede. Because if something goes wrong here, I might have to sack him on, and this is the one that I care about the least. I didn't need a 6th slot, so I figured, what a better... Like, there's going to be no better opportunity to just have the early game eject button. Just in case, you know? I love crossing up the AI and breaking its ankles. Well, you know what? You're going to enjoy fight number 3, I think. The true overpowered tech is being able to read the AI code. Golem needs to be adamant. Wordeer is looking to be modest. Wrong menu. Actually, is Lantern already modest? I think it might be. Yep, that's done. Galissapod I have marked as lonely. Script my view in this one. I'm not going to let you make a fun fact. I'm going to do it myself, and it's going to be basically scripted the same as I'm going to say. I respect that. Meganium is modest. Should already be modest, yeah. And the Sizzlipede's nature doesn't matter because it's here to be sack fodder, if need be. Gotta give Wordier a Twisted Spoon. This rain fight and run and bun is too hard. Hope you're doing well here. We're doing pretty well. We just completely obliterated Fantina with Cinderace and a little support from Drapion. I hope your fight prep ends up improving though. I understand that game is crazy difficult. We have one more, slightly more standard fight, and then we get one turn of like bit of a what the fuck, hopefully. Or I'm gonna look like an idiot, and we're gonna lose a mon that I care about, like a 3 out of 10 amount. So it should be entertaining for everybody either way. Soup needs a Miracle Seed, which it has. This doesn't need anything. Galissapod needs Silver Powder, which it never really leaves the building without. Golem wants a Hard Stone. Hard Stone. Right before Winstitute last fight in rain. That's rough. Did I miss Cinderace pop off on them? You did. Cinderace got 4 KOs back to back to back to back. And then you turned out on the Zoroark in stylish fashion to set up Drapion to one-shot the Bandit. It was not what I would consider a super difficult line to execute, but it felt really very fun to discover when I was planning. Hardstone. Oh, this is not adamant. That needs to be adamant. Dun, dun, dun. Adamant, Hardstone, modest. This needs a magnet. Adamant, Hardstone, modest, magnet, lonely, Silver Powder, whatever, modest, Miracle Seed, and modest, Twisted Spoon. Back to Hardstone, Adamant. Okay, let's check moves. The Golem at least needs a few changes. We're gonna put Explosion on this Mad Lad. We're also not gonna put it as the first move so that I am less likely to click it by accident. We're gonna put it in the bottom right. And we want Discharge. Didn't miss the Arctozolt, so excited to see that. Oh, dude. I think you specifically are gonna appreciate this. I suppose my hint is that you specifically might appreciate this. If that gives it away, try not to spoil it for the rest of chat. Is Explosion for AI damage calc manipulation? Yes, it is. That is exactly what it is for. I do not intend to click it. However, Galvanize Explosion is a very large number. We would just like to turn off Hasbat on switching when Golem is in, pretty much. I don't think this is a unique to me idea. I'm pretty sure Michael had the same sort of idea with his Golem. I don't remember if it came up in the fight that he did, and unfortunately the Golem had to take one for the team in that fight anyways, but I know it was on his to-do list. Speaking of which, we have to get this off of Magnet Pull and onto Galvanize. Never actually thought about it well after Gollum had made his noble sacrifice. Yeah, it's gonna quietly do work here just to prevent the switch. Galvanize, discharge. Oh, it's T-punch, not spark. So we got this fight, and then we get to the wacky Arc de Zolt. Lantern probably, I think, needs one change. T-Wave, Flip Turn, Scald. Yeah, it wants Shockwave instead of Discharge. Which I understand is a little counterintuitive. You'll just have to trust me on that one, I think. Gallisopod probably just has the same moveset it always has. Rock Slide, First Impression, Sucker Punch, Razor Shell. Yep. Meganium, I'm pretty sure it only needs Giga Drain. Yep. And that should be it. Oh, we entirely missed the Wordier. Wordier needs some changes. We're gonna give it Psychic and Hidden Power Electric. The whole reason we went and did Fantina, when we did, was to get Psychic here. This one's gonna get way better as we get more special TMs to use on it. Fur Coat, Special Attacker, pretty sweet. And Immune to Ghost, which is surprisingly relevant. And Hidden Power was the other one. And then we gotta go pick up our IVs for HP Electric. Should have had the foresight to do this while I was over here earlier, but alas, I am but mortal. And that should be it. I'm gonna double check, of course. But that should be it. So we did this trainer yesterday. So it's the second one we're looking for. Okay. Let's do our... Somehow walking in front of this trainer, even though I know I've already killed it, is like a little intimidating, because what if it's somehow back alive again? Okay, Adamant... Okay, you know what? Let's put the Wordier first. Wordier is the lead. And then we got Golem. Lantern. I'm just going to match the same order here as my notes to make Sandy checking myself a little easier. Modest, Twisted Spoon, Fur Coat, HP Electric, Psyshield Bash, Psychic, Lunge. I have Horn Leech instead of Lunge. I don't remember if that was for something specific, or just because it happened to know Horn Leech when I started doing the calcs and I never bothered getting rid of it, but we're not going to second guess what the notes say. I should not be clicking this move. So Modest, Twisted Spoon, Fur Coat, HP Electric, Psyshield Bash, Psychic, Horn Leech. Discharge, T-Punch, Rock Slide, Explosion with Galvanize, a Hard Stone, and Adamant. Modest, Magnet, Lantern with Water Absorb. Shockwave, T-Wave, Flip Turn, and Scald. Gallisopod with Rock Slide, First Impression, Sucker Punch, Razor Shell. The Usual Emergency Exit, Silver Powder, and Lonely. Meganium, Modest, Miracle Seed, Triage, Giga Drain, Draining Kiss, Synthesis, and Dazzling Gleam. And then this guy has no item. He is here to bite the dust if something goes very wrong. Wait on the save, import the save. Actually, we could just reference my notes this time because they're in the same order. Birdier, Golem, Lantern, Galisipod, Meganium, Sizzlipede. I'm sure Sizzlipede is an amazing mon. This guy leads on a Beardick. Get my chat back up. Double check Wordier is in the lead slot. Alright, I don't think there's anything else to do. No further stalling. So a lot of these fights are like, oh, so do you know what I think might be funny? See how this guy kind of goes back and forth and he does a little bit of the vertical bob? I bet if you speed up, he vibrates. Like he's vibrating with excitement. We're ready to go. Not even evolving the Sizzlipede? Okay, before we start, there's actually a specific reason for this. It's because Flannery splits level 47, and if I keep him unevolved, he actually gets a physical fire type attack by then. If I evolve him now, he has no physical fire type attack better than Flame Wheel by the time I get to Flannery split. So unless I need him early for whatever reason, we're keeping him as a Sizzlipede so he can get Fire Lash. And he's just here to die anyway. So I don't think it's worth the stream time to level him up. But there is thought to that. There's a reason that he is specifically the only one who has not been evolved. Alright, in fight mode. So because of the fur coat, we are a really, really good Beardick tank. And Psychic actually scares out pretty much the entire team. And whatever it doesn't scare out, it gets scared out by HP Electric. We just sit here, tank 2 crits, and kill a Psychic. Oh, that's Expert Belt, not Focus Sash. All right, we take one Night Slash and kill a Psychic. Pardon me. This should bait Araquanid, if I'm not mistaken. Awesome, the notes don't lie. I looked into this earlier. This is a fight I did sort of before lunch, and then I did some other things, and then spent a long time on the last fight because that Arctozolt was hard. So really cool thing about having used Psychic last turn, and then it going into this Araquanid that doesn't have any amazing moves into me, but does have Mirror Coat, is that this is actually a free switch in disguise. Which is awesome because our Golem cannot take a liquidation on the switch. But 45 speed Golem is actually like ninja fast. I don't know if that is... I don't think this is necessarily considered a switch roast, because I'm not abusing the AI's switching. I'm just abusing the AI by switching. So I don't think I want to count it. But yeah, super clean way to get Golem in here and pick up a free kill. And this should bait... Oh, this is not what I expected. I figured this would be Arctovish. That's fine. Hopefully this is still okay. We have the Sizzlipede if need be. So we go hard Galisipod on Cloyster doing something. I guess I didn't necessarily have to go hard Galisipod, given that I had the Golem out already. But the Cloyster should still see that it is doing well here because of Rock Blast. The key for our purposes is that this Cloyster cannot go for Icicle Spear here, because Rock Blast is so much better. It might also take this opportunity to Shell Smash. We're not too bothered. Oh, this is fine. Like, I don't actually care which one it goes into. So for a switch roast, it's got to be both unexpected and actually do something. Just unexpected and dies anyways is like, eh. I don't really feel roasted, you know? That's how we've been going. It can't just be unexpected. Either way. For me getting a free kill, for the AI doing something I don't expect or whatnot, it's got to be something that we're intentionally trying to style on, or being styled on. So this is just a one-shot. Very cleanly. The order that he goes into these... This was honestly a preferable order. I'm a little surprised, but it is preferable. Because I could have gone hard Meganium on the Hydro Pump. Pivoting through Galisipod. Galisipod was literally there as an eject button, except unlike Sizzlipede, it doesn't die. So worst case, if the plan was to have Lantern in on Cloister in the worst case scenario, where this can go random move between Rock Blast and Icicle Spear. Meganium can't switch in on Icicle Spear. Golisopod can switch in on either of them, and the Rock Blast, if the Rock Blast pushes me into emergency exit range, we get the free Meganium in. If it doesn't, then he's Rock Blasting again, because he'll see KO, and I can get the free Meganium that way. So he dies regardless of which order of the 2 mons we go into. The problem now is that this is an Icicle Crash rather than a Vicious Rend. And I would much prefer it be a Vicious Rend. So I think I may want to go hard Golem here, just to absorb that Icicle Crash and grab a Vicious Rend out of this. Should be anything other than Vicious Rend. And we're okay with whatever. We just need to get our Lantern in for free. And this is why there's that minor adjustment that might look a little weird where we're actually running Shockwave over a Discharge. With Modest Magnet, it's still 2-hit KOs, and it doesn't give us that chance of paralyzing the Arctivish, which is still faster than me because of Slush Rush, and crit one-shotting me with a boosted Facade. So this is pretty safe instead. Also, this Mon design is just fucking wild. I'd heard of Vicious Rend before this because of people asking about it in the Nuzlocking channel. And I'd seen like memes of this fish on the internet in general, but weird design, like upside down kind of head business. I'm sure there's a whole lore reason for it, but certainly kind of funky. So there's Claude. The last fight that I have prepped is the one that people are probably interested in. Not because the fight itself is necessarily going to be super interesting, but the Arctovish line has been advertised as being kind of sweet. So let's go find... not the Arctovish. What is the other guy called? The Bolts? Son of a gun. What else does this guy have? He has an Alolan Ninetales? Ninetales Alola? Arctozolt! Alright. How do you know you're a true Pokemon boomer, right? So we're looking for Floatzel? Wordier stays in the party. Slowbro. Is this Camper Charlotte coming up? Camper Charlotte is coming up. I do not have anything planned for Camper Charlotte for today. I might actually do some preps after Lucas and our encounter, but I do not think I'm likely to run it today. It's a little bit late for me to not have much brain, and this team is like really scary. Like, it'd be cool. I kind of want to plan this slowly because there's the possibility for a switch roast off the U-turn. Trying to switch roast a fucking Galarian Darmanitan, though, is like pretty much the scariest thing on Earth, and I don't think I even can because of the Choice Scarf. So this may need a little bit more time than what I have the brain for this evening, but I will at least look into it. That'll be the first one for the next stream, though. So the Arctozolt has a little runny nose. He's supposed to be a little fast electric guy, but they just out on the big ice body. Oh, I see, okay. Large gap in some of my knowledge. Yeah, you might say that. Most of my knowledge of specific shit is if I've had to deal with niche AI handling because some new ability is batshit. It's kind of unfortunate. Pokemon Gamma Emerald demo out now. Catch me late. Thank me later. Very neat. Also, I just missed Demigod. I don't think I've heard this name. If you're stumbling in from the Discord, welcome to the stream. We're about to try to really embarrass the AI in a fight. This is a good time to decide to join. Floatzel, Wordier, Slowbro, Simisear, and Cerulege, and Lucario. The sharp-eyed viewers among you will notice that my understanding, at least, for the standard ways to deal with this Arctozolt involve a ground type or a Volt Absorb Lantern and a Slowbro. And you just hop between the Slowbro, because Slowbro can tank any hit except for the Bolt Beak and always base Bolt Beak with Regenerator. And then your other Mon, whether it's Lantern or a ground type, takes the Bolt Beak, baits anything else, and then you go into Slowbro, and you can stall it out because it takes Life Orb Recoil. That's boring as shit, though. And in my travels, when I was looking at ways to try to deal with this Arctozolt, before I had even noticed, oh, I can just Regenerator stall this, I stumbled upon something much spicier. And it is the much spicier option that we are going to be taking. How can you not take this spicy option? I'm pretty sure this Floatzel set is going to remain sort of the same, but not quite the same. Technician, Aquajet, Flip through Water. Okay, so we are switching out a couple of moves here. We're going to give this one... Hidden Power is putting in work on this route to stop things from Hasbat oddsing. We only need Fake Out and Flip Turn, so we're going to ditch Aquajet for now. This will be Hidden Power Rock. And the rarely used Dig is going to be used as what the AI sees as an 80 base power ground type move that we never click. They deserve me so much I deep dove into them. That's very understandable. They're whack. Let's switch this first move to be Fake Out so you don't accidentally misclick anything and be really upset. Otherwise, this is still have Mystic Water, probably. Great. Wordier, I think, gets to keep the exact same moveset as before. Modest, Twisted Spoon, Fur Coats, HP Electric, Bash, Psychic, and Horn Leech, yep. Slowbro, I'm pretty sure is just the standard Slowbro. Bold, Citrus, Regenerator, yep. Seems legit. The Slowbro is a backup. It should not actually see play, I don't think. Simisear, we get to give the new ability-based choice specs, which is pretty cool. I know these are a 1% encounter, so for anybody who's not aware, you all probably are aware because everybody but me, it feels like, has played Radical Red. Up special attack by 50% but locks move. It is literally a baked-in choice specs. I'm pretty excited for this to get a better fire-type move via TM, either Heat Wave, Flamethrower, Fire Blast, whatever, and an actual choice specs, but for now this is just going to up its damage a little bit, as is pseudo choice specs. And we want to put Chardy on this. Cerulege needs to be Jolly Flash Fire. We do not want a spell tag for a change, we want a Citrus. Let's put this in the same order as my notes again. Sinister Cerulege. Oh, even did, nice. Lucario, I think, may need to be modest slightly. Also, modest, black belts, inner focus, I lied. Aurasphere, flash cannon, vacuum wave. It does not. So we just gotta go get Hidden Power Rock on our Floatzel. The Rock Smash Dude's house. This is kind of what it looks like when I play Magic the Gathering with certain groups of friends, actually. Because, like, 3 of us are pretty nerdy. But 2 people are, like, big athletes, big outdoors people. So, when you get those games of 4, there is this guy and the 3 nerds at the table. It's very funny. I think we're already ready to go, which is a little terrifying, isn't it? Alright, Floatzel, Naughty Technician, Mystic Water. I need to start writing my notes as item, nature, ability. Mystic Water, Naughty Technician, HP Rock, Dig, Fake Out, Flip Turn. Tattooed Rock Climber. That's awesome. That seems to be the case reasonably often. I kind of love it. HP Electric, Psychic, Psyshield Bash, and Horn Leech with Fur Coat, Twisted Spoon, and Modest. Bold, Citrus, Regenerator, Yawn, Psybeam, Slack Off, Scald, Slowbro. We only care about the move Mystical Fire on this, as you might expect, given that we're choice locking ourselves. Sage Power, Modest Charty, Jolly Citrus, Flash Fire, Blitz Willow, Shadowclaw Sneak, Aura Sphere, Flash Cannon, Vacuum Wave, Force Palm, Inner Focus, Modest, Black Belts. We have everything we need. For those of you who have had me in a second tab, the exciting turn is turn 3. So it's not very far into the fight. We're going to do a save. I'm going to grab this business. So if you're here explicitly because you want to see the Arctazult Bazaar strategy, you can tune out after turn 3. Floatzel, Wordier, Slowbro, Simisear, Cerulege, Lucario. Little nervous because if my code reading is not up to snuff, my understanding of the intricacies of the AI's magical brain are not up to snuff, Simisear probably dies here. But you know what? I don't really like that very much anyway. Those of you who have me in the second tab is I figure it's targeted at least half of the audience. That's totally fine. I usually have people's streams open in a second monitor until there's like an encounter or a fight. Because, you know, it's vibes, chatting, and prep. You don't need to see any of that. You're just here for the vibes. That's totally fine. But this has the weirdness that some folks have been looking forward to since I mentioned it earlier today. Make sure my fight notes are up. That's also important. So the Lunatone kill is going to be super straightforward. We've probably seen this a million times. Floatzel's kit is teched out such that it can't Hasbot odds out. All we're going to do is fake out into flip turn for the KO. Let's actually have the correct mon in here. Break the sash, and then we get to send out whatever we want. To bait in whatever we want. Have you no shame? Absolutely none. I've heard that this mon gets really good at level 80. So Michael was and somebody else I don't remember who were going through the math with me because I'd never heard of the move Surging Strikes before, and that shit is bananas. So we go Simisear here, which will bait the AI into going for the Arctazult. And if we look at this matchup, it's not looking so hot for our buddy Simisear, right? He just gets outsped and dies to this Bolt Beak. So, you know that scene in Dragon Ball Z where like Goku is asking the audience to lend them his energy? And you know that psychological concept of like manifesting, where if you just like hope hard enough, shit'll probably happen? If you wouldn't mind doing a little bit of the Goku business, it would be really nice if we could just manifest this Arctozolt just clicking literally anything else. We did it! We made it work! So, Crunch has had a theory for some time that this is... We're now officially confirming that the AI doesn't see the Bolt Peak damage buff. So the way that I came across this, it was buried in some weirdness. And this is the Pocky stream, so you're going to have to see a little bit of code. And I'll kind of explain how I stumbled across it, because I didn't even realize that Crunch had really been looking into this until I messaged Irav earlier today, being like, hey, just want to make sure this is okay, right? This isn't like abusing a bug, I'm just abusing the AI being kind of stupid. And he was like, oh, totally, this isn't any worse than the unaware business that people do. So there's currently a thing we're trying to fix where after using U-turn, it turns out that the AI gets this line wrong. It is unable to detect that a switch is free or not, even if it goes first, because it references this get battle or turn order number function, and this function seems to be broken. So this I learned like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. I think maybe 3 weeks ago. I haven't fixed it yet because I've been doing this stream, and this function, like, its implementation gets kind of complicated. When I'm looking at these calcs, right, I'm thinking, holy shit, this mod doesn't have crazy stats. Why is Boltbeak just exploding everything? I should probably see what Boltbeak does. So I looked up effect Boltbeak, right, see what it does. And lo and behold, when it's calculating the AI's base power of a move, it's referencing these two functions that don't work. They always make the AI think that it's slower. So when Simisear goes to bait in a Mon, it's not baiting in Arctozolt because it sees the one-shot with Boltbeak. It's baiting it in because it sees a two-shot through Chardy with Rock Slide. And that does more damage than everything else. Because Irav's berry change means that Rock Slide, it ignores berries if it's a two-shot. And then it just happens to pick Pluck instead of Rock Slide because it likes using Pluck against Mons with berries. So this may open up new potential avenues for future runners to try to deal with Boltbeak. I learned afterwards that Vicious Rend actually uses the same exact move effect as Boltbeak, so it's broken for Vicious Rend as well. The AI does not actually see that this Boltbeak is capable of one-shotting me. If we go down to -6, we'll see that all the AI sees is a two-shot, not a one-shot. We're all about opening up avenues. Alright, you can put me back on your second monitor now. The rest of this fight's not nearly as exciting as that was. But it's definitely the most stylish way I've seen anybody deal with this Arctozolt. Simisear just fucking stares him down and he panics. The rest of this fight is like pretty much entirely solved. Wordier can stand in front of this Toxicroak forever. Fur Coat is really nuts. There we go. And one-shots with the Psychic that we just went out of our way to get. This should pull in Ninetales, if I'm not mistaken. Which doesn't see any immediate one-shot, so it's probably going to Aura Veil. We don't have any great options for dealing with the Aurora Veil quickly, but Cerulege is a monster, and 2 shots with Flare Blitz even with screens up, so we're just going to hard switch into it and do exactly that. This is at least like a moderately fair use for this mon, right? I'm just using it as a big damage fire type. Cinderace probably would have worked out okay here, but, you know, it's fine. Oh god. Ah, don't you love ISPs? So this Ice Cube is really weird mon. I also had to Google what this ability does. And it needs to take physical damage for the ability to matter at all. So we see this into Ceruledge. It might see one shot. Does it see one shot with 83? It doesn't actually matter for our purposes. But we'll see. It doesn't see one shot, so this probably just belly drums. The plan is to just go hard Lucario, which can take any crit on the switch in, and then Aura Sphere it down. We are assuming this is going to belly drum, though. If I need to, if this is not a belly drum, Lucario takes like a big crit, goes into danger range. This is why Slowbro is here, because Slowbro can stand in front of this thing and just scald it down. It'll take a while, but it'll get there. Oh crap, we gotta get somebody to ban. I'm getting faster at this banning thing, though. Ban. If poor Irv is on mobile, we can't be having him have to deal with ban messages. And this Aura Sphere, we just outspeed in one shot, even with the screens up. And there goes the Arctozolt Trainer. Hopefully that was worth the wait. I at least thought it was very funny when I discovered it. And then we got our 114 encounter. Which, I don't think there's water in this route. Is there? I didn't even think to check. Horsey, right? Okay, yeah, we're not that interested in these mons. So I think what the plan is here, looking at this list of mons that would be kind of nice to have, Abomasnow is cool. I don't know how good it is. We do have Harvest, but Hoppip and Sunkern are some pretty big misses. Sneasel into Weevil would be kind of cool. I already have a decent dark coverage in Libero, Sucker Punch, and also, of course, Mega Mawile with Sucker Punch. So Viper and Zangoose are eh. Swablu would be cool, but it's only 20%. So what I think is a better idea here is that Tinkatink and Skarmory are both incredible mons. I already delay for Chatot. I think I'm going to go for one of Tinkatink or Skarmory. I do have Mawile and Corviknight already, but I can see merit to having both for two main reasons. Skarmory has merit, both of them, of course, if there are fights where one is really good, 2 copies is always nice. The other obvious one is if one of the mons dies, having a second typing that can perform a similar role, also excellent. The big reasons for Skarmory are the Sturdy, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, this gets counter. It gets Roar and Whirlwind, which was another part of it. Maybe it doesn't get counter, and I'm fully wrong, but I thought it did. Thought I checked this. Maybe not. Maybe not. Might be here purely as the sturdy plus Whirlwind mon. Looks like purely that plus Whirlwind. Not great, but again, if I lose my, I expect that I'm going to be leaning on Corviknight reasonably often, and if it dies, I would be pretty happy to have a Skarmory. I think it's better than. I think having a backup Corviknight is better than most other things in this route. And same thing with Tinkatink. I do think Tinkatink is probably a bit better than Skarmory, but I think they're close. Access to Mold Breaker on a mon that I can put an air balloon on more easily than Mawile is really cool. So it'll do much less damage than Mawile, but it gets Mold Breaker plus Fake Out. And those two moves, similarly to Skarmory, right? Like Skarm gets Sturdy Whirlwind, Tinkaton gets Mold Breaker Fake Out. I think this Fake Out's probably marginally better, but I'd be pretty happy with either of these mons. If the Magnet Pull fails, we're hoping we hit Swablu, Sneasel, or one of the rare encounters, I think. Just kind of, yeah, it's just kind of generically good, right? Like, do I think it'll be coming over Mega Mawile very frequently? Probably not. Like, Mega Mawile is like all damage all the time, and Tinkaton has like some nice little niche utility that it can use on top of the typing, I think. And it's a slightly better air balloon user. So I do think this is worth going for the magnet pull. I think I would be pretty content with either of these mons, and I think I would be more content with either of them than everything else on the route except for maybe Swablu. And I don't think the 20% is worth going for it when I would be, again, really happy with either of these two to insulate me from getting one of my mons to die. Alright, hang on a minute. Galvanize. How do we go back to Magnet Pull? Man, I coded up an item that is not official to vanilla, so it's not in this hack. But it's just one ability changing item that is like, hey, do you want this ability? And then you say no, and it's like, hey, do you want your other ability? In one text box, and you have to screw with looping multiple patches around. Nope, it's not that one now. Is it a capsule? It is! We got there. We got there. Use ability patch to go from hidden back to normal. Yeah. Yeah, anything with fake out is nice, and I do think sturdy would be cool to have access to, especially in doubles. But we'll see what we get. I don't want to hold my hopes up too hard. We're looking for, I think the number one is probably Swablu, even though we're magnet pulling, and then I think Tinkatink and Skarm are pretty much tied for number two, assuming we don't get one of these rare encounters. So we're hoping for Swablu, Skarm, or Tinkatink. Oh, and it is Tinkatink. Alright. Yeah, super on board for this, like I was saying. We missed the magnet pull on... what is that on? King Gambit earlier? So we're exactly winning the... Like, we're on coin toss pace for the magnet pull hits, and I'm feeling pretty good about that. We hit the Mawile, we missed the King Gambit, we hit the Tinkatink. Super down for this. Oh, we had a name for this, right? It was the other twin. To go with the Yui and Mai Bofuri? That is how you spell it, right? Yui and Mai? Yeah, Yui and Mai. Perfect. Let's go back to the Switch Roast count. And now I have seen this follower sprite at Michael's streams, and I think this mon is a contender for the best follower sprite in the game. Right up there with like Togekiss and Clodsire, at least from ones that I've seen. It just looks fabulous. Let's get our Repel on. Let's see the Tinkatink one. But by the one with the best one, I do mean Tinkaton, of course. Something about the face on these guys always strikes me as a little odd, but I think they did a good job making what is kind of an ugly mon, to me at least, look pretty cute. Where is my candy? Here we go. Oh, exactly. Yeah, true. I haven't seen anybody with a whale lord yet, but I bet that's up there too. Is this the first stage or the mid stage? I know nothing about this evolution line other than that it turns into Tinkaton. So Tinkatink turns into Tinkatonk? Tonkatink? Tinkatonk, that's my guess. We're locking it in. Tinkatuff, god damn it. Gen 5, are they? That's kind of funny. I haven't seen any of those either. Not quite Tinkatonk, but instead Tinkatuff. I think I'm getting my names confused because of the Thonkaton Discord emoji. Slam, probably not needed. I think we get Gigaton Hammer on Evo, right? That's like the Monsol gimmick. And it uses it to like hunt Corviknights or something crazy, I think. That's awesome. I'd love to see a screenshot of it. It gets play rough at 35? Wow. Gonna be waiting on that for Mawile until after Norman. Or at least after Flannery. The hammer is made of Corviknights. That's pretty metal. Oh, I forgot to look at the Tinkatuff sprite. Hang on, hang on, hang on. We can stop evolving. We have the power. Do you know what? That's not, this is it's cuter than the last one. Something about the faces is still a little weird to me. But the hair is maybe a little monocolor, but cuter than the last one, I think. Ironhead, okay. Man, this gets literally the 2 moves that I want Mawile to have already, just like 10 levels earlier. That's funny. And that party sprite is just excellent. Also, I think probably S tier. I'm a sucker for the archetype of like a small dainty character with giant weapon though, so I must admit some bias there. Oh, Gigaton Hammer right at 44. Nice. 160 base power. Let's it mimic but a fraction of Mega Mawile's power. Does it get any cool relearns? Not really, that's alright. So now that we have this mod, let's take a look at what its future holds. Almost nothing. That's pretty funny. Knockoff is... Oh, wow. It really is just discount Mawile pretty much 1-to-1, huh? With some flexible utility options as opposed to pure damage. Okay, Ice Hammer is unique. It's as opposed to the Ice Punch from Mawile. Getting Encore is kind of crazy. Cool. Happy with that mod. Mawile at home. That's what it feels like, but you know what? Mawile is so great. I'll take a second, slightly minier version. But this follower sprite, look at that. Look at this. There's so much done with such a limited color palette. It's just terrific, especially from the back. It looks so detailed. It is hard to get this variety of colors, or like this variety of this level of detail across the color palette in only 16 colors, and I think this turned out great. I think it looks really cool, really well realized. Okay, so let's check which one is Charlotte. She's where? That's Charlotte. Okay, so she's just up and to the left of the grass over there. I think she's then blocking that TM. We can go visit Lanet. I believe there's a Lotad plush. On the stairs they go up. Okay. I do this when I'm researching. I don't research very much anymore, but there's just papers everywhere. Oh, that boulder I think has an item, doesn't it? Dang it. There's a guy down here, and he has a boulder with an item, I think. That's the one. That's the one we're thinking of. Okay, and there's Charlotte for later. Let's go pick up persimberries. And then I'll take a look at Charlotte, see if there's anything screamingly obvious, but I'm not expecting to do that this evening. I think I'm going to be wrapping up stream in the reasonably near future, but we'll take a look-see just in case. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is also our last encounter before Flannery. Oh no, I guess we get the water egg at the top of Chimney, and then we get the jagged pass on our way down there. Just send it on to the next fight. You know what? I did think about doing that, but I later decided against it. Charlotte. Choice Scar. What does Guerrilla Tactics do? Oh, okay, so it's the same as what my monkey has. Just for attack, so this just does huge amounts of damage. But he's super duper uber choiced. There's no earthly way we can get U-turn here, right? Slow bro! Slow bro, min defense. What about min defense slow bro? Okay. Does it live a crit? Not quite. Not quite. Interesting. Any other bug weaknesses? Meganium? Probably doesn't take a crit. Oh, not a bug weakness because fairy resists bug. That was a wild design choice. Executor? Dies to Icicle Crash instead? Don't think any other bug weaknesses. Bug, not an amazing typing. Probably just drop the IVs a little instead of minus def nature on Slowbro. That would be good. The thing is, I'm not actually sure I want this thing to U-turn, because then I have to switch into it later. And I think it's probably easier to kill it while it's sitting in front of me than having to switch in on it again later. Yeah, we can't bait it here. Okay, so Slowbro is the only thing that has a chance to bait the U-turn. It probably has a reasonable chance to bait the U-turn. Which is very funny. What does it bait in? It's just a regular golem? That's weird. Probably Frozlass. If we have something for Frozlass, what would it bait it instead? Probably not Glalie. So it might just be... Is there... Okay, then I guess it would be Tatsugiri. Because it won't see... The Switch AI won't see Explosion as being an actual damage move. So Bitter Malice being 63. If I give this Shadow Ball... That does no damage? Hello? I guess it does slightly more than Psybeam. I'm a little disappointed. Is Ice Body something I need to be aware of? Oh, this is just the health restore thing. So it probably goes Frozlass. Do I have a Pursuit user? Drapion gets Pursuit, right? Oh, right. We're in the snow, so physical moves suck. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't recommend. Yeah, I think this is not. I think this is we're gonna have to let this one go. We have switch roasted every single other Volt turn mon we've seen to this point. I think now is the time that it's got to be left behind us. I do have access to an air balloon. Mystical Fire. What? Why are none of these moves like holy shit? Like, this is just a super effective special. This guy has 55 special defense. What the heck? Where is my damage? Is this the calc? It's the calc. Thank God. How do crits work with air balloon? Fine. How do crits work if I go... What is the... Pokemon Berry... This... I reference this 2012 forum post so frequently. Shucka. I should have known that from Heatchan. Does Shucka let me live a crit Earthquake? It does not, so it's gotta be air balloon. So this is an option as a lead to just lock into Mystical Fire. Does anything see that it can switch in on this? Golem does, so we probably need Hidden Power Water. That keeps Golem out. Tatsugiri, ooh, this mod is gonna be hard to keep out. Pretty much always gone Bake EQ and hard switch to Togekiss. Oh right, because it gets choice locked. What am I doing? See, this is why I'm not doing this fight tonight, because I don't have a whole ton of brain left. Oh, and actually, if I'm not mistaken, make sure my current repo is on 1.2. It is. If I'm not mistaken, this choice bug has not been fixed yet. Has bad on, and by hasn't been fixed yet, I mean I think I fixed it for 1.3, but I did not fix it for 1.2. Bad choice lock. I'm pretty sure in 1.2 this doesn't check if is choice can't test resource. Okay, yeah, so this actually doesn't check anything else. And then when has bad odds is looking for the damage that it does, I'm pretty sure this also is not looking for a choice lock in 1.2. I love this note. This has been solved, by the way. Max Ares 1 could take. No. I'd like to see damage dealt. Yeah, so this just iterates through the move list. It doesn't check for... Okay, great. So this means that this has not been fixed. Do an absorb a high roast? Oh, you're so right! This has Storm Drain. As long as whatever we go into is something that he thinks he can KO with one of these three moves, he'll just sit there and spam Earthquake still. Because that is not fixed until 1.3. So if we bait him with anything, say we bait him with this Simisear into going for the EQ. We hard switch into something Swanna? He'll stay in on the Swanna because he sees good odds with Icicle Crash. We Bubble Beam. Then he goes Tatsu. Can Lantern one-shot the Tatsu ever? Does not look like Lantern has a snowball's chance in hell. Unfortunate. Why is this one so bulky? I guess Lantern just doesn't do that much damage really anymore. It's more here as a defensive mod. Yeah, that's a little disappointing. Floatzel doesn't have anything that's super effective on a water type. Okay. Is there anything stupid we can do with Cinderace to get us super effective on a fire type thing? Probably not. Water, dragon... It's water and dragon? I didn't even see that. Okay. The only thing that's good on this is dragon, right? Executor? Hello? Oh, ho, ho, we're cooking! Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. Hidden power, water, Alolan Executor. So we bait the Earthquake into... Oh, but then this needs... Air Balloon? He's definitely not switching out. He sees one shot. We Hidden Power Water the Darmgalar. And then we Dragon Hammer the Tatsu on the switch? That is a switch roast to be proud of. That's pretty cool. I don't know, the score is still kind of close, man. The AI is catching up. I guess that embarrassment didn't count towards the score, but... Yeah, getting back in safely is going to be the trick. Do you know what would be amazing, though, is if this Executor just baits it back in again. I guess then he's locked into Icicle Crash rather than Earthquake, so we don't want that to happen. Does anything else outspeed a one-shot? Probably everything, right? Everything does. So if everything does, he goes to the last, so he'd end up going to Glalie. So we have this Glalie going for a mega return on our Aglolan Executor. This may... Dugong eats Icicle Crashes for breakfast. It eats these returns for breakfast too. It just does need these explosions, which I don't think it'll go for. Holy shit, does it ever eat Icicle Crashes for breakfast? Okay, so if we have a hard counter to this, if it comes in later, this is good to know. This is good to know. I really like this HP Water Alolan Executor is like way funnier than something more sensible. Like you could probably just do Tinkaton for this, honestly, because it's got that play rough, HP Water play rough, but that's not nearly as stylish as the fucking tree, right? With 45 speed. Turn on snow. Turning on snow. Good catch. It does not actually affect the Tatsukiri, but excellent catch. I've been forgetting to turn this on for most fights. It hasn't really mattered. I've just been like, oh, use special attackers because they all have double or extra defense, well, time and a half defense. Love this idea. So this gets us the free Tatsugiri, and this thing, like, if this nasty plots, I'm probably really scared. So this is good. That's a super sweet way to deal with the threatening one and get a free switch point. The Absorb AI is so much easier to get switch roasts on than the U-turn AI. It's not even funny. Goats don't need to calc around grassy terrain. They just eat it. They just eat it. So we probably get Glalie after this opener. How do we want to deal with Glalie? Ice-type move, ground-type move. Sounds like Slowbro would be pretty good. Crunch. Ice-type move, ground-type move, dark-type move. That gets a little more dubious. It's kind of like Togi but dies to the ice, or like Golem but dies to the ground. Corv? Corviknight's looking pretty sweet. I'm not sure if we want to push the AI to explode this much, but I really don't think it will. I think it'll just keep returning our crunching. If you switch roast my team, we may have to fight IRL. This is not an easy team to switch roast. The only thing that's going to trigger it to switch is Hazmat odds. We'll look into it. That would be pretty maximally funny, wouldn't it? I wonder if I can get a situation set up that I'm just like spamming the same mon over and over, waiting for the AI to trigger Hazmat odds or something. That would be funny, but the Hazmat odds is also hard to roast, because when it happens, like, it's going into something with good odds. Oh, I bet we could do it with Intimidate cycling. That doesn't check for a good switch in, right? We're getting a little distracted here, and that's okay, because I'm not doing this fight this stream. Encore is a 50-50. The bad choice lock won't work, but... Oh, fuck. But if you get something to -3, it doesn't check if it has a good candidate or not. So you could fail, right? Like if you get it to -2 and there is a good candidate mod. So we would need to get it into a case that it has no good candidates and at -3, and that'll force it. So it needs some Intimidate stacking. What other options do we have? You have a Natural Cure mon, right? This is Natural Cure. I'm pretty sure Natural Cure requires a good candidate, though. Yeah, Natural Cure needs a good candidate. Any other related abilities? Other one is, of course, Yawn always works if there is a good switch-in candidate. Of course, that makes it harder to make it a roast. But yeah, Yawn's also only for this. I think all of these require, yeah, good switch-in. Curse doesn't. Curse is not a legal move. Leech Seed doesn't. Not sure if we want to rely on this 25% though. Oh no, these all do. Never mind. Man, this line does shit. Somebody, I got a PR fix for this. We don't need this line twice. Actually, hold on a moment. This git commit is not me, so we're good. We're good. I think it'd have to be intimidate swapping, but maybe we'll see. Darn. Sick Vice especially Arctizal. Good night, dude. Thank you for the Arctizal thing, and same to you. That the Magma double was absolutely amazing. I watched it during my raid break, and it was deeply impressive. I'll probably shut stream off in 10 or 15 minutes here, at most. So we wanted the idea of this into Executor, into baiting this, which baits a Glalie, which we thought we might be able to handle with Corviknight. Why is this return doing 200% damage again? Oh, right. It's level 99. Man, the return's still doing a lot of damage, actually, huh? This doesn't really... Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I don't think we're going to get the... Well, maybe we'll get to stunt on this one a little bit. The thing that's maybe more worrying is that it's not really worth just prepping this for the next stream, which means I think I also got to try to prep this. There might be another quick one for me tomorrow night, but I kind of doubt it. I have some paperwork to get to tomorrow. So this might be for Friday or the weekend that we try to get through Maxi. Glalie switch-in's looking kind of ass. Kingler with Rock Slide? That's okay. Guess 3-shot, only sometimes 2 shots. What if I'm soft or hardstone? Okay, always we come in, we take a shot. We don't outspeed though. This one has some different stats than in vanilla, huh? So we come in on an EQ or a return. We can't take 2 more without citrus, even though we 2-shot. That's kind of rough. This does mean we're not... Oh no, we do need to use our air balloon on Executor for this line to work. Why is Golisopod so good into this? Bug Water just happens to be really good into this list of moves. That's cool. This gets Rock Slide too, doesn't it? Can't lean on First Impression twice, but we can lean on First Impression Rock Slide, Rock Slide? How many hits is that? We're gonna get forced out before that with a crit. We do always get 1 off. So that's an option. We'll just go Adamant again. So concerned about this explosion, but so on Eggy it's a return. Yeah. So the Golisopod can tank almost any number of crits, to be honest, but the second return would force it out. So it probably goes in... Probably goes for the Rock Slide roll right off, takes the second crit, gets forced out. Into what? Maybe like Floatzel? We get Fake Out, we Flip Turn. What is he going to be doing? Probably Earthquaking? Go back into Golisopod? So that means we need to take 38, 38, 76, and 21, which we can. Okay, that works. It does cost us 2 mons to deal with this Glalie. So if I kill the Glalie with the... Actually, can he Hazmat odds on me here? It doesn't look like it. No, okay. So we get rid of the Glalie. He has bad odds on Floatzel. No, as long as I keep HP Rock, because I outspeed this. Need to be in speed mode. Plus speed minus... I guess Spadef probably is fine. So Floatzel can tank the crit return on switch and do its Technician fake out flip turn things. Can't go into either of these mons. Won't want to go into this because of HP Rock. So that'll deal with Glalie on the Golisopod, which would pull in Frozlass. Thunderbolt. Oh, Destiny Bond is really mean. That's a cheeky move. Probably can't just go direct. Holy shit, we can just go hard Sacrilege. Do we take a crit? We take any crit and then just kill it? I guess he Destiny Bonds here because he sees that I'm going to kill him. And that needs to be avoided. Does Cinderace outspeed this? Cinderace does outspeed this. Kills with Pyro Ball. We can go hard Cinderace on any attack into the Golisopod. Probably T-Bolt. Which means we don't want to get paralyzed. Because this is T-Bolt. Actually, by the time this is coming in on it, it probably sees a bunch of different kill options. And Bitter Malice has got a good secondary effect too. So it could be either, but this is an option. Or heck, does Monkey outspeed? Monkey's not going to outspeed. So Cinderace can get there without worrying about Destiny Bond. Is anything else fast enough? Like, Floatzel's fast enough. It can't come in on the T-Bolts. Lantern, way too slow. Can't do fake-out shenanigans with Tinkaton here. This would be the same thing, we just die because of the lack of... So I think we probably go into Cinderace, we risk the crit para. If we get crit para'd, we no longer outspeed, but we can two-shot with Sucker Punch, that's probably okay. He can't Destiny Bond me while I'm spamming Sucker Punch? I think that's a reasonably good plan. Can he go Golem on my Cinderace? He absolutely can. Can he go Golem on my Cinderace if I have Hidden Power Water? No. Even if I'm a Fire type? Like if I get rid of Libero. Yeah, see, he eats half on switch in and then gets outsped. Libero. Okay, this actually might. And then we get Darmanitan back in with our Cinderace. So he should lock himself into Earthquake, and I still have Air Balloon, Alolan Executor to come in and do cleanup. Okay, I think this line actually works. That's kind of cool. I'm going to write it down, and then I'm going to, I think, end stream. Like I said, I don't want to do this today. I want to make sure that this actually does work, because this is a pretty high danger fight. So I want to make sure my predictions for the switches are correct. And I'm tired enough now that I think I would likely make a mistake in either preps or play. But that's sweet. Let's just export this team. Export? There we go. Oh, that's just the Executor. Can I export the whole team? Probably not. So there's Executor. Actually, probably free up another slot by not bringing this Executor, this Simisear, because the Cinderace can do the same thing but better. Not this. We need... Hold on. We're just... Okay. Exports. And it is still just the one, yeah. . Golisopod. Floatzel. Cinderace. And the plan is to bait Darm into EQ, hard switch into Air Balloon, Eggy. HP Water. Take no damage. Expect Absorb switching to bring in Tatsu. Dragon Hammer on the switch to KO. Expect Glalie. Hard Golisopod. Take any crits. The plan was Rock Slide, right? Or was it First Impression? First Impression, if I go, let's go back to Silver Powder. 42 minimum, so 58 minimum. And then it's gonna take 58 plus 16 minimum plus 40 minimum plus the other First Impression. 172. It does not have 172 health. First Impression. Get forced out. Go into Floatzel. Fake out. Plus Flip Turn. Back into Golisopod. Then KO with First Impression. Expect Frozlass? Frozlass. Hard Cinderace, expecting T-Bolts. KO with Pyro Ball, or get parried and KO with repeated Sucker Punch to dodge. Destiny Bond. Expect Darm. T8. Hard switch to Eggy, unexpected EQ. Slowly KO with Eggy. Alright. This is the line as we'll leave it. I'm not going to run this tonight, like I said. I do like logging off in Pokemon Center, so I'm going to go do that, though. Something about it feels, you know... I'd log out in Pokemon Centers for the most part when I was a kid, so I like to do it now still, too. Let's get our Tinkaton facing the correct direction. I usually do it on the other side, though. There we go. Oh, heck! There we go. That was tough. Thank you guys for watching stream. I don't think anybody else is currently live. It is a little bit late. See really quickly. I don't think anybody else is live. Yeah. So on that, I will leave you here. Thank you guys for attending the stream. I'm glad you enjoyed the Arctozolt, and we'll try to start picking up Mount Chimney alongside this last Snow Trainer either tomorrow or Friday. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I will catch you then.